everybody, it's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. Welcome back to Morristown, New Jersey, here for part 2 of a beautiful pond installation along with patio steps and some lighting, some other cool stuff. If you guys haven't seen part 1 of this project, click the link right here, check that out, and come on back. We've got the pond dug out, lined, and we started setting a good portion of boulders inside there. We actually have a waterfall framed out right there. That's going to be spilling into the pond. That's going to be absolutely gorgeous. One of the things that we want to keep in mind is vantage points. So this is Debbie's kitchen right here. That's the kitchen window over on that side. So she's got great visibility. Actually, her desk is right there. She'll be looking out across the water. Beautiful waterfalls are going to be starting back in here. Pooling area. She loves birds, dragonflies, nature. We're going to have a lot of that going on here. We got Bully and Colby starting on the steps that are going to lead up to the back of the house. We're using a manufactured step made by Unilock. Very natural looking face on it. I love the way these steps look. I kind of like the dark color too. So those are going to be going in leading up to that back door. And then we're going to have a big cut flagstone patio back here touching the pond so Debbie can sit out here, relax. There's going to be a seating boulder over here if she wants to hang out there. Plenty of room for furniture. And take this all in. What we'd like to accomplish in this video is get our seam done for the intake bay skimmer. That's gonna happen this morning, and we wanna get this pond rocked in. While those guys get busy on doing the hardscape, let's get rolling on day 3. Okay, so when you're doing a seam, you need a nice flat surface to work with ideally. That's why we're using this 2x10 board. Stretched it across the excavation. We've got our pond liner coming up over the top of it. Then we're gonna lay our liner in for the intake over the top of that as well, just to kind of get them matched up. From there, we're gonna clean these surfaces off really well. Make sure there's no dust or dirt on there. Then we go ahead and apply our seam tape primer on this as well as the bottom side of the intake liner. Put down our double-sided seam tape, glue those two together, and then cover the entire thing with a 6-inch cover tape, making it watertight. That liner there for the pond is 25 by 30. If we brought a whole 25 wide piece into here, we'd be wasting a lot of liner. And plus we'd have to kind of make a turn with it, and then you get some weird folds happening. That's where a seam works really well. If you do it right, they're just as good as having one piece of liner. If you do it wrong, then it's a real nightmare. That's what it comes down to. So take your time. If you're doing a seam, cleaning it's extremely important. Getting that flat surface, and then really making sure you don't get any air bubbles in your seam tape. You do all that. In reality, seams aren't that hard. Doing it in situations like this, that's where the difficulty comes in. But if you're doing a seam, good luck. Well, we've got an intake bay going. Boulevard did a great job seaming the two liners together. We got our excavation done. We were able to pull all that liner in, and now we're putting together our intake bay skimmer. These are called aqua blocks. Those were actually the small version of them, and this is a pump vault. So essentially what's going to happen is water is going to be drawn in here, and the pump will be situated here with the plumbing leading going up to our BioFalls filter. When the water comes in, it'll simply swirl around in a whirlpool, collecting that debris in one spot where you can easily remove it with a skimmer net. What we do at the leading edge of the aqua blocks is put a piece of liner wrapped around the front of the blocks and tuck it back over. That forces the water to come over the blocks and then collect back here, as opposed to pulling water down through, minimizing the skimming action. So doing it this way, we get a really strong current coming through here, pulling anything that falls in the pond over to this area. Right now, Boulevard is going to get busy actually hooking up our BioFalls filter. This is a BioFalls 6000. It's the largest one that Aquascape makes. We are going to be setting it right here, and this is what's going to start our waterfall. At the front of the BioFalls unit, you'll notice that it's got a bunch of recessed nuts inside of it. What that does is accept the hardware for a faceplate, which sandwiches the liner up against there. Before Boulevard gets done, he's going to run a bead of silicone right over these holes all the way across and back up again. Liner goes in and the faceplate goes on and all gets bolted together, causing a sandwich of sealant. Right, Boley?
Yeah.
Sandwich of sealant. Say sandwich of sealant.
Sandwich of sealant?
Yeah. Sandwich of sealant. Good. See? We should trademark that, huh? Once he gets that in, we'll hook up the plumbing to the back of it. With this, we're running a 3-inch line from the pump up to the BioFalls with a 5,000 to 9,000 pump. That means we can flow up to somewhere in the 8,000 gallons an hour range. That's a lot of water to push through a filter, especially one that size. What we're going to do is split the plumbing when we get up there. I'm going to feed half of it to the bottom of the BioFalls, and the other half we're going to dump on top. We'll still get the volume we need for the waterfall, but we're not going to be shoving all that volume of water through the filter. We want to go through there slowly so it has good contact time, good settling time for any organic debris, and it filters the pond properly. If we send it there too fast, it's like trying to drink through a fire hose. It's just not going to work well. So if you're looking to use a large pump to run your waterfall, think about how much water you're sending actually through your filter and make sure you're not overdoing it. We got some action going this morning. Boley's getting started on putting the stairs in up to the back door. Underneath the base material, we're using a road fabric. That is actually a structural fabric that's going to help make a separation between the soil and the compactable base. It also gives strength to the base having the fabric down there. Right now, Anthony's down the bottom. He's doing some stacked slate work. Our patio is going to come right in between these two rocks, kind of cantilevered out, so you have a nice opening looking from the house right through those two rocks. We're going to put another rock back behind where Anthony's right now, and here, a couple sitting areas. Somebody wants to hang out there right next to the pond. That's where it's going to be. I'm going to get working on finishing up this intake bay. I've got to finish doing my rock work inside here. I want to hide that vault. Around the aqua blocks, we'll actually do some backfilling with the river stone, just locking everything in, and then we can move to the pond. We've just got this edge here to finish up, and the pond can actually be gravelled, which leaves us the last part of the waterfall. And if you guys ever watch this channel, you know that's my favorite part. I love building waterfalls. We're not there yet though. Let's get this finished up, get the pond tightened up today. I think by end of day, if the pond is completely done and these guys have got the steps in and the wall for the window egress over there, they'll be at a good spot for the patio, which let me show you what we're gonna use for the patio. Now keep in mind, we're not hardscapers. We do hardscape sometimes if it's right next to a pond, but the only time I'll do a hardscape is if I'm using a natural material, and this is actually my favorite stuff. This is bluestone flagging. We've got really nice big pieces. This stuff's about 1.5 inches thick. We're gonna try and keep the largest pieces we can in this patio. What's so tricky about this stuff is we have to cut every single edge when we put it in so it all fits together nicely. This is seriously labor intensive, but it's worth it. When this goes in and it's cut around those boulders at the edge, right up against the steps, it's gonna look fantastic. Well, enough talking about it, let's be about it, right?
We got a lot of work done today. Let's. No. You're making me giggle.
Dude, come on.
You're making this difficult.
It's not that hard. We've been rocking and rolling all day long over here. So Ant got everything all cleaned up inside the pond, and check this thing out. Awesome job. That was a little weak, bud. Look at that stacked slate wall. He built the light into it. Now our flagstone patio is going to come out right over the top of this, just cantilevered slightly. What a clean edge that's going to be, looking straight down into the pond. So cool. The intake is pretty much wrapped up. Our big rock work is in. They're going to get started on now just finishing up the edges and closing up everything on the outside. Got some major work done over here on the steps today. They got one more step to put in, and that is checked off the list. Right now, Drew and the boys are just prepping the patio area, getting everything all graded out so that we can get our quarry process down and start compaction, which only leaves one thing. I can't wait to start going on this waterfall. It's gonna be awesome. Come on back. Next video, we are going to finish this waterfall, finish this pond, everything done. Here's a little sneak peek. Can you guess what time it is?
Oh, it's time.
Why don't you go get Debbie? Let's show it to her.
I'm excited.
All right, it's time, Debbie. Come on over here, we're gonna plug it in. What do you think, Rudy? Oh yeah, he loves it. You can tell he loves it. He's like, oh, it's sweet.
Back to your